Hello everybody, this is Phonito Bob and welcome to race number 34 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Sprite 400 at the Michigan International Speedway. Yep, at this point I've said everything that you could say about the season. It's been action-packed, it's been interesting, and we are not far away from the regular season finale and the start of the playoffs. So, this race though, it's gonna be another day at the office, so, yeah, now this is Michigan, and I guess one thing that's worth mentioning, well, actually, you know what, I'll talk about that in the opening lap. With that, so for right now, let's just give you the circuit for this race and waste no more time. So in the pole for this one is Rebecca, alongside her in second is Kurt Busch, third is Matt Kansas, fourth Matt DiBenedetto, fifth is Ryan Priest, sixth is Cole Custer, seventh is Donald, eighth is Martin Truex Jr., ninth is Tim Tom, 10th is Gridgen, 11th is Nia, 12th is Fonda Bobbin, 13th is Brad Keselowski, 14th is Van Coaches, 15th is Steve Selleck, 16th is Clint Boyer, 17th is Kyle Busch, 18th is Alex Bowman, 19th is Doug, 20th is Eric Gonrola, 21st is Brian Blaine, 22nd is Douglas, 23rd is Russell David, 24th is the Race 25th is Kevin Harvick, 26th is Tyler Reddick, 27th is Kurt Busch, 28th is William Byron, 29th is Christian Bell, 30th is Denny Hamlin, 31st, oops, skip over a little bit, 30th is Denny Hamlin, 31st is Joey Gunn, 32nd is Purser, 33rd is Jimmy Johnson, 34th is Austin Dillon, 35th is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 36th is Oliver, 37th is Eric Jones, 38th is Ryan Newman, 39th is Bob Walls, 40th is Daniel Six, 41st is Mitch Light's brother, and 42nd is Garrett Smithley. Alright. Very starting great as my mouse is going a bit crazy. So also Rebecca on pole. Alright, well, see how that goes. But it is only pole, so you never know. But perhaps we never know yesterday was a bit of a yesterday I say before was a bit of a mistake. So let me explain. This is actually my second attempt at recording this entire race. I did record this race once already, got to the checkered flag, but the race itself had more in common with a demolition derby than an actual race. Basically what happened was that everyone wrecked, there were only 6 cars remaining on the track, and only 2 of those cars were competitive, and only 1 of those cars were actually there at the end. So, it was just a really bizarre, really stupid, really dumb race. So, I decided to just scrap the race, pretend it never happened. I say I pretend it never happened, I'm mentioning here. And this race, I promise you, will be more proper because I just did some testing. Now, the problem with the first race, I didn't do any testing. I just did the go to 100%. I did 110%, and then just hoped for the best, which is what I usually do. However, that would be a bit of a mistake going into my first attempt at recording this race, and everyone just crashed. So I've turned down the difficulty by a little bit, and I'm now actually on the edge of a good race and not having a bunch of crashes, so we should have a decent amount of cars actually finish this race now on this difficulty. Alright, so with that in mind, let's hope for a better race in the first attempt. That first attempt you guys may or may not see on the Rubbishman channel. And green flag is in the air for the Sprite 400 at Michigan International Speedway. Already some stuff going inside lane, 3 wideisms are occurring. And Ryan Priest immediately going to the inside lane. And everyone going absolutely nuts. Here we go, turn 2. This turn's been a bit treacherous. That was actually the turn that they would always crash before. But it seems like we made it through that time. And Ryan Priest, he's running well. Alright, sliding up on Rebecca though. Ooh, very close. Very close moves, but still a good one. And also, this is a 2-mile long track, a lot like Auto Club Speedway and Texas World Speedway. However, those 2 tracks didn't produce very entertaining races. Michigan, though, I don't know what's up with Michigan, but, well, it can be entertaining. And look at that. Alright, so, ooh, Ryan Priest, though, sliding to the outside lane. That's going to get Rebecca to get there, and they touch a little bit. Yeah, drivers can get very close to each other here. And it's a duel between Rebecca and Ryan Priest. Yeah. So yeah, you might still see a couple crashes still today, but at least now they'll be few and far between. And drivers can actually make moves. That's why they don't make too hard of a move, but you never know. And Ryan Preece are going to the inside lane as Matt DiBenedetto was there. And Preece now side by side with Rebecca once again. Ryan Preece, who happens to be in a side-by-side battle, a back-and-forth battle for the lead with Martrix Jr. for the points lead. You know, he needs points because Ryan Preece crashed out early last time out at Kansas. You know, Rebecca, she's nowhere near as high up in the point standing, so at this point, all she can do is try to win races. Also, you see, there's a big skid mark there. Well, for the fun of it, let's actually go back in time and see what happened to, what happened here off of, oops, reverse back too far. What happened here off of turn number, 4? Because thankfully we didn't have an accident, but it looks like we did get very close to having one. So let's go back a bit and just see what happened. Yeah, it looks like it involved, oh, it was Nia going sideways. Hopefully, into the crash. Oh, yeah, it looks like Nia got caught up with bank coaches. Ooh, Clint Board got hit a little bit as well, but thankfully, Nia was able to save it, and there was no caution. However, that does put Nia all the way back at the end of the field. Wow. So thankfully there wasn't a crash, but there could have been one, but thankfully Nia saves it. Now if only she could save herself and win a race. Anyways, Ryan Preece still leading. These are a couple drivers that people want to see win more often. And I mean, recently they have won, you know. Ryan Preece got 2 wins in 1 week a couple weeks ago. Back at Kentucky and Chicagoland. And Rebecca won not too long ago either at Atlanta. So now, they're trying to add to their wins from this season. Right now, Ryan Preece still side by side with Rebecca. There's a pretty good battle for the lead. And a pretty good race overall. I can already tell you this is much better than yesterday when I tried to record this race. Okay, still a little bit of contact, but that's fine. Alright, contact is allowable so long as there isn't crashing. And yeah, so far 7 laps in, no caution, and everyone is still on the track. Going much better than yesterday. Anyway, Rebecca falls back a little bit here. Oh dear. Here comes Kurt Busch. Trying to make some moves. Ooh, Matt DiBenedetto was trying to go underneath Ryan Preece off of turn 4. And they touch a little bit. But it's going to be Matt DiBenedetto to the front. With Cole Custer falling behind. Very interesting stuff. Now it's Cole Custer who goes underneath Matt DiBenedetto. Okay, Cole Custer trying to slide in beneath. Matt DiBenedetto. Ooh, Ryan Preece scrapes the wall a little bit. Yeah, this track is really fast. Up to 210 miles per hour on the straightaways. Very fast track. Honestly, this track is almost as fast as the Pensacola Super Speedway. And here's Ryan Preece going below Cole Custer. A couple rookies racing each other now. You know, while Ryan Preece does still... Or, no, while Ryan Preece already... Well, now that he has 2 wins, it's... Some of the rookies, including Cole Custer, still have yet to win a race this season. In fact, Cole Custer hasn't actually been that good this season. But he might be good today. He's going to try to get up to Matt Benedetto, but ultimately going to back out. Probably for the best is not to cause a big accident. Ooh, here comes some stuff. 3 wide. Rebecca trying to go all the way to the inside lane, but he's going to lose it. There's not much grip on the inside lane. A little bit of contact being made. But yeah, there's not much grip on the inside lane. Now you see, you may notice that the higher groove is darker than the lower groove. That is because we are trying out a thing here called PJ1. And what PJ1 is, it's sort of like glue, where it provides more sticking power. Like you see all the guys in the black stuff, there's more grip up there, so it's easier to stick to the track. Whereas where it's brighter, there's not as much grip there. So that's why drivers, when they go down there, they do things. Now, also another thing, completely unrelated to the, well, still related to the race, but something different. And there was some skid marks. I guess Ryan Newman must have got involved into an accident. Yeah, oh, near the back of the field, actually. Actually, right at literally the very tail end of the field. Ryan Newman gets called up on a couple guys, including Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and others. Stenhouse gets out of the way, but Ryan Newman slides all the way to the inside wall. And somehow that isn't a caution. Okay. I swear it turned cautions on. In fact, let me check. Yeah, cautions are on. Although, according to the thing, we're going to get a yellow in a minute. I do apologize for spoiling it, but I had to make absolutely sure that we have cautions turned on. It turns out that we do indeed have cautions turned on, as we are about to get a yellow in a moment due to a crash, although we don't know what the crash is, so there's that. But yeah, so Ryan Newman spins all by, well, with the help of a couple other guys, but no caution. And to be honest, there doesn't really much need to be a caution anyway, because the crash that Ryan Newman had wasn't very hard, and it looks like he's still in the race. But I think we're going to get a bigger crash in a moment. We weren't pre-sliding out. Oh, front of Bobbin. A lot of stuff going on here. Full car scraping the wall. And a lot of Chevys actually getting together. Kurt Busch, Priest, and Matt Kenseth there as well. But for the meantime, though, Matt Benedetto is running away. For now. Okay, he's not really running away. He's just staying out there in front. Cole Custer, yeah. There's one of those weird tracks where the high line is faster than the low line. As Cole Custer just couldn't quite put it down. Put the power down. And here comes Ronito Bobbin, who just earlier this week at Kansas came home third. And once again, challenging for the lead. This time running in his primary car. As Rebecca, though, trying to steal that spot. But, yeah, Rebecca that gets caught up by the traction or stuff. And Matt Benedetto scrapes the wall a bit, and Kurt Busch makes a move, and is Kurt Busch to the lead. Alright. So it seems like a few laps from now we're going to get a caution. But you still wonder what was the cause of the caution. Now we don't know. Was it a crash? Was it a big crash or a small crash? Or was it not a crash at all? Just something happened. Anyway, Fernando, I'm gonna lose a. Matt Benedetto scrapes the wall, so actually not really a gainer, lost some momentum here. They're just still side by side. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch holds first place. There goes Matt Benedetto to the inside. Nope, not to the inside, actually. He's stuck him behind Kurt Busch for now. You know, turn 2 was a very dangerous corner. Last time, or, well, when I did this race the first time. Thank goodness that now they've lowered the difficulty. It's much safer, and there we go. That's the crash. That's the caution. And Matt Benedetto going to win the race back to the line. And we have our first caution of the day at Michigan. Alright. Alright, well, we've seen some good action, but it's time to woe it down for a little bit, as there has been a crash. So let's rewind time a bit and see what happened. So you saw the glimpse of it in the background, and involved bank coaches. Oh, bank coaches didn't need that. Well, yeah, bank coaches caught up on Clint Boyer in turn number 4. Does a complete 180. Oh, Blaney always gets caught up in bank coaches' spin. Thankfully, no one else does. So luckily, considering the size of this track and the size of the field and the pack and everything, this was a very minor accident. Only involving Ryan Blaney and bank coaches. Oh dear, Blaney though, Blaney, he's in a bit of a spot because Blaney he's still in 3rd, but now he's got some front end damage. Now that car is still drivable, but will it still be as good as it has been? As for bank coaches, well, his rear end is crunching, so they will be able to fix that, but bank coaches might also wind up just having a bruised race car for the rest of the day. Alright, so happening up front now. Looks like the entirety of this field will be coming down pit road. Pretty good time to come down pit road, actually. Alright, so yes, literally everybody is coming down pit road, except for Ryan Newman. But he wasn't really that competitive to begin with, so I guess it's not really a loss. Or, it's a sausage, alright? Right. Pit road to be busy. Let's see who comes out in what position once this is all completed. Oh, Truex with a bit of damage. I guess there's also be an opportunity for drivers to fix any damage on their cars they might have incurred during the race itself. Oh, hello! Oh, crash! Matt DiBenedetto screams Rebecca, but what is that? Russell David with a pit strategy. Okay. Wow. That came out of nowhere. Wow. Russell David with a very interesting strategy. He must have taken 2 tires. Yeah, because what I can assume happened is that the majority of this field, or most of this field, got 4 tires. Russell David, however, takes 2 tires. Now, it is pretty early in the race, so the tires that they didn't change probably aren't too worn out. But it'll be interesting to see, will Russell David be as fast as everybody else? Because grip is pretty important here, and Russell might have a little bit of a lack of grip, but we'll see. Russell David actually started pretty high up in my first attempt at running this race. Unfortunately, didn't have that same speed in qualifying for the second attempt, which I can tell you already went a lot better than the first attempt. But Russell David, however, not off to the best start, but he has now taken advantage of a pit stop, and he's now up to 2nd. But that was because he took 2 tires. Question now is, will that work? And it looks like he was the only one that actually went with that strategy. Everyone else gone with the usual 4 tires. Alright. Well, I haven't seen much strategy out of the 1-2-4 car this season, so yeah, a little bit interesting to see Russell David go with a strategy that's different from the other guys. Alright, so other things. So bank coaches is still here. Truex had to repair some damage. Oh dear, he's in a battle with Brian Priest for the points lead. Oh, well, that'll make things interesting. And also bank coach with a well, he's got no rear bumper now, but he hasn't been having that good of a season anyways. And where is Ryan Blaney? Because he's in the garage. Okay. What? Are you sure that was enough to really take out Ryan? Huh. Weird. Very weird stuff from Ryan Blaney. I mean, he had a car that was drivable. They could have fixed that, but I guess they just, I don't know, maybe some internal damage that we don't really know about. Or, well, we'll find out when this race is over, but very weird stuff with Ryan Blaney. He had still a pretty good car, a decent car, at least a drivable car. And they decided to take it into the garage. Alright, well. Anyways, green flag back in the air in Michigan. Ryan Newman with the fastest start on the low line. And for some reason, Rebecca goes all the way down there. Ooh, she's gonna go very far down there. Ooh, she's currently, Ryan Newman in a sandwich. You know, maybe there's actually a safety thing that Russell David doing. Since he's now this high up the field, you know, he'll be able to avoid any carnage that might happen behind. And it looks like Russell David might just have some grip. As here he goes, side by side with Matt DiBenedetto. And Russell David, he's been on a decent streak this week, you know, coming runner-up and caution already. Wow. Looks like Russell David's strategy is coming into play. As we've had another caution right as this race begins. Or restarts, if you know what I mean. So what happened this time, I guess? Okay, well this race was actually a bit worse than the last time. Well let's see, so you have Kyle Busch and Douglas getting together. Okay, so they hit turn 4. Oh, Logano gets involved. Oh, Jimmy Johnson involved. And everyone involved. Wow. And Douglas going for a wild flip. Oh dear, but that's going to be the end of the day for a lot of these guys now. Wow. Man, that move by Russell David was a lot better. Because since Russell David was so high up the field, he was able to avoid all this. Unfortunately, for Douglas and everyone else that was behind, their cars are now a lot more broken and banged coaches with a blown engine. Wow, so banged coaches survives one crash only to get taken on. Another Alex Bowman, he's out. Garrett Smithley, his car's pretty broken up. Wow. And Jimmy Johnson with the blown engine as well. Well. Very interesting stuff. Okay. So that strategy by Russell David looking very good right now. Alright, so now since everyone just pitted, I don't expect many other people are going to pit. Okay, Eric Jones coming down pit road and everyone that got involved in the crash coming up pit road as well. This Sly's brother staying out though. Alright, so this time everyone coming up pit road is just the guys that got involved in the crash. So we'll see how many cars can continue the race and how many cars are too damaged to keep going. Alright. How'd you go into what camera? That's with pit lane 1 camera, which is a bit of a sausage camera, but it'll do. Okay, looks like there's a couple guys still coming out. We got, well, Wallace. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Brother, despite getting involved in the crash, he's staying out. But Wallace still here. Donald, Gridrin, Eric Jones, Chris Buescher, Joe Logano, Kyle Busch, and Mortrix Jr., and Stenhouse, and Byron, and Smithley. So it looks like everyone actually able to continue. Well, everyone that still had a drivable car able to continue with bank coaches. Wow, already was some damage. His car is not even more damaged, and it's so excuse me, it's so damaged that it's smoking, and bank coaches will. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much done. Right. So, Oh, hey, look at Garrett Smith like running a black car. I just kind of like the simplicity of that car. Anyway, decent amount of drivers are still left. You know, funny enough, in my first set that recording this race, I think we only had about 10 cars left by this point in the race. Thankfully, this time we have a lot more than that. I see a lot more. Let's see, 32 cars. That's still a lot. Okay, so let's do this again. So there was really no position changes that time because, I mean, we went one lap without a caution, or as in we went one green flag lap. So hopefully this time though we'll have some more green flag laps. Alright, here we go. Green flag in there once again. This time it's the Relix Box Nerd trying to go low here. Gets gonna get caught up by Ryan Newman though. Ooh, once again, Ryan Newman gonna be a bit of a sandwich here. No sandwich actually. He's just gonna hold up the bottom lane. Wow. Okay, here goes Relix Box Nerd and Chase Elliott. Okay, now Ryan Newman's gonna be at a sandwich. This could get dangerous. Bottom lane checks up a bit. Oh, Ryan Newman gets caught up with Rebecca. Oh, okay. And Russell David just gonna get out of this and just get to lead in this race. And there goes Russell David getting around Matt DiBenedetto. And it looks like that Russell David's two-tire strategy paid off as there is another crash. And Russell David once again avoids calamity. That's 2 lucky escapes now for Russell David. Although now he's got to beat Matt DiBenedetto to the line here. It's going to be close. There's another crash behind. And meanwhile, the race back to the line continues. It's going to be Matt DiBenedetto winning the race back to the line as we're under caution for the 3rd time today. Oh dear. Well, it looks like now cautions are breeding cautions. Oh dear. So actually 3 crashes actually happened that time. 3 crashes in one thing. And also, Ryan Newman, you know, the guy who was getting involved into the sandwich, well, initially, or, well, yeah, what I was afraid what was going to happen has now happened, and unfortunately, it has cost Rebecca another good result as they just hit the wall. Rebecca going for a violent spin. Ooh, Cole Cuss getting involved, another driver's behind. Oh, man, more drivers going to be over with in this race now. Ryan Newman, though, yeah. More wrecked race cars. And also, it wasn't over after that, as it was getting another crash up here. Much smaller one, though. I mean, let's see. Yeah, so now right after that crash happened, now we have the race back to the line. Looks like Freund Bobbin got into it with Matt Kenseth. So they touched, Freund Bobbin with a very strange move. Of course, he got caught up by Matt Kenseth. Luckily, the next spin around, but Freund Bobbin now with a damaged race car. What is up with Freund Bobbin? Wow. And then the caution is out once again. Ah, dear. Okay, well, once again, we'll see who goes down Pit Road, and once again, I don't think anyone's actually coming down Pit Road except for, well, like last time, the other guys coming up Pit Road, the ones got involved in the crash. Freund Bobbin and Matt Kenseth. Broken race cars, Cole Custer, Bud Wallace, Donald, Kyle Busch. And Miss brother, who for some weird reason stayed out the last time, he's going to come in this time, along with Logano. And Rebecca is done for. Wow. Wow, Rebecca. She could have gotten a pretty good result, but unfortunately, not today. Thing is, though, you know, Ryan was like the initial root cause of the last crash, so I guess now that he's out of the race, unless there's more lapped cars. I don't know if there isn't more lap down traffic now, though. Alright. Skip another lap. Okay, looks like everyone that was up here has gone to the garage. Right? Let me see. Yep, nobody on pit road. Everyone's going to the garage. Okay. Skip another lap. And there are no lap down cars anymore. Everyone is now on the lead lap. Everyone else has gone to the garage. Alright, so 29 cars, but still a lot. Alright, fast forward a little bit more. Alright. Well, we've had some interesting lucky escapes, but now let's have some actual racing. And now that Ryan Newman is out of the way, this should be a better race up front now. So, green flag in the air again. Let's see if we can actually get a lengthy green flag run now. And here's the real Xbox nerd up here. I haven't spoken too much about him today, but yeah, here he is, teammate in law, friend of, Russell David. And Russell David driving a very nice looking paint scheme. That paint scheme is the is a special variant of the ALC 42 locomotive coming soon to Amtrak. And this is that paint scheme on a car. And this paint scheme has been seen before, but was driven by Formula One, but now this paint scheme is being driven by Russell David. And so far, none of the Amtrak 50th anniversary specials have gone to Victory Lane. In fact, neither of the Total Motorsports cars have even gone to Victory Lane at all in any car recently. That said, they were close last time. Just last time out of Kansas, Total Motorsports they finished second and third, but ultimately got beat out by Gridron. Well, with how mad the field is today, as Bud Wallace coming off the road, and Kyle Busch as well, so they don't LePage the field. Doesn't look like it. And as Xbox nerd goes low, ooh, he gets a bit of a sandwich here. He's looking to lose. He's now on the PJ1. He doesn't have as much grip. As Kyle Busch going to slip up in front of the field. Very bad move. And Russell David trying to get out in front, but Matt DiBenedetto has been pretty tricky. And Russell David side by side. Almost. And Russell David's got the inside lane though, which isn't as good as the outside lane because the inside lane there isn't as much grip. So Russell David got to get to the outside lane somehow and get a good run on Matt DiBenedetto. And another Xbox nerd trying to challenge for the lead. Wilson right on the edge of the PJ1. A little bit of contact, but nothing big. And now it is Russell David who is on the outside lane, which is where he should be. We're enough though, Percy's there, but also going to the inside lane. Not a smart idea. Ooh, we're sort of sliding into the traction compound. No positions actually gained or lost through that. Here goes Russell David trying again to make a pass. Who goes very low on the racetrack. Into the groove where there's not as much grip. And he's gonna have to tuck it behind. Now, while that two-tire strategy, well, as long as Russell David gets stay up here, will play into his favor as far as points. Oh, he scrapes the wall, though. Oh, man. Not a repeat of Kansas. That's cost Russell David quite a lot of spots. And meanwhile, the real Xbox nerd working on Matt DiBenedetto. And this was the real Xbox Third trying to take the lead in this race and get his 3rd win of the season. He got 3 wins last season. Trying to get another 3 this season. But Matt DiBenedetto has been the leader of this race for quite a little while now. Here comes Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick with the most wins of any driver this season so far. Could he get win number 5 today? Ooh, Percy Serp. Oh, Guido scrapes the outside wall. Not going to ruin his momentum much, though. Okay, maybe a little bit. As here is the race going very low into the corner. And he is now side by side. And another crash has occurred. Made a few laps this time, but... oh dear, Carson's out again. So who's going to win the race back to the line? It looks like it's going to be Matt DiBenedetto, unless Racers are going to get a good run off the turn number 4. And nope, no good run. And it's Matt DiBenedetto who will win the race back to the line again, and it will have, well, I mean, trying to avoid a slow moving Garrett Smithley and William Byron, but the caution's out, so it's not a race with those guys. Alright, but we're under caution once again at Michigan. So, you saw in the background, but let's now rewind and see what happened in slow motion. Alright, so you started with Kevin Harvick, as you saw there. Ooh. Oil code with they oh. Okay. This crash happened at a pretty weird part of the field. Wow. Ooh, Kyle Busch. Other guys slowing down time. Ooh, narrowly missing these two, but ultimately it is just... we've seen this before. Whoever's getting caught up at the end of turn 2. The positive thing I could say about this accident, though, is that it happened to happen at the end of the competitive car field. And look at the drivers behind nearly avoiding these guys. But wow. Alright, so luckily another small accident. But it's an accident nonetheless, and we're under caution again. So we'll line him up once again and go for it. Okay, so we're gonna have pit stops. Okay, not for these guys. Everyone, yeah, once again not pitting. But I don't think anyone's gonna. Okay, Chris Bridge coming up the road must have picked up a little bit of damage, but Wallace coming up the road. And what about these two? William Byron and Garrett Smithley just hang on the back, I guess. No pitting. Alright. Alright, this is your field. So let's fast forward a little bit. So lights out. A couple lap cars coming into play. So Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth. That's gonna be a bit dangerous. So 24 cars in the lead lap. Okay. I'm gonna fast just a teeny bit more. And that's what I'm gonna do just to be safe. Alright. Okay, so with less than 20 laps to go. Oh, that's Bud Wall's doing the party. Okay, so we got 3 lap down cars now on the bottom lane. You dear. that could cause some confusion and delay. Alright. So, with about 16 laps to go, let's see who can take it today. Green flag in the air once again. The Highline, of course, getting a high-speed start and going to get away from the lap-down cars as quickly as possible. All the competitive cars just want to just get away from the slow cars and have their own battle. And speaking of having their own battle, here's the real Xbox nerd trying to go underneath Matt Kenseth's willing up though, staying with these guys. Okay, I guess Matt Kenseth is still fast-ish. And Matt Bandito does have one win this season, which came quite a while back at Homestead. It's been a while since he's gotten win. Well, I mean, he got his first career win back at Miami or Homestead. We probably expect him to get a second win at some point, but you know, Matt Bandito, he hasn't had the very best. No, bad season, but not a best. You know what I mean. He's down a Southwest that battled with the real Xbox nerd. And of course, we need some good results. As Chris Bush is going to get onto the track. Okay, well, that's going to cause confusion delay. Oh, Russell David had a bit of a run. Oh, bad luck. They get slowed up by Chris Bush here. Oh, Burza, though, hits the wall. And if it goes 3 lanes wide, Russell David actually going to recover here. But it seems no one has been able to challenge Matt Bandito for a while. Yeah. Not sure what's in Matt Bandito, but he's been pretty good ever since, you know, a few different crashes happened. Whoops. And, oh, there's Russell David. Or the Highland running 6, not bad. Alright, here goes the real Xbox once again trying to get around Matt Benedetto. Has now become a pretty Auto Club and Texas World Speedway-esque race now. At a track that is a lot like those where it's hard for the guy in front to, or the guy second to get a run. Here's the real Xbox nerd, who is still struggling to make an overtake on Matt Benedetto. If he could just get side by side and get a good run off of the corner, but he just can't seem to do it. So the race was going to keep trying. Nothing worth mentioning though, these tires might be pretty worn out. Now, we are pretty late into this race, but I don't know. Here's Kurt Busch with a run now. Yeah, it's just hard to pass. I mean, it was easy to pass earlier, but I think now the tires are just a little bit too worn out on these cars. So here's Buschner trying again. He's got a pretty good run going into the corner, but can he have a good run coming out of the corner? Maybe. Alright, he's ahead of him. Oh, he just needs to shut the door, though. See, the trick is to be far out enough in front to where he can shut the door on the corner exit. So your turn 4 is really tricky. Well, it seems to really Xbox is slowly, but okay, not that time. He's gonna have, okay, well, okay, unfortunately lost all of his momentum, and is still trying to pass him. Man, oh man, this is difficult for the real Xbox start. Oh! Matt DiBenedetto slows up a bit, and they tangle up! And the real Xbox nerd has crashed! And a lot of the front runners involved! Oh no! Big crash at the front of the field. A lot of cars involved. Big crash. Russell David got tangled up in that as well. Oh man, did so good avoiding the crashes today, but unfortunately, that time he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, you saw it in. Well, I mean, so yeah, start off front here, but let's see what happened a little bit further back. So Russell David, unfortunately, unable to avoid this one. Oh, but Matt DiBenedetto going for. Wow. And Matt Kenseth going for a wild spin. Priest with quite a bit of damage. Austin with a blown engine. A lot of guys with damage. And Matt DiBenedetto goes from the lead to the garage. Wow. From the lead to the garage for Matt DiBenedetto. As the real Xbox got a little bit too excited. And that led to an accident. That once again is going to take out some cars. Also, David, he's going to stay out. Probably a good idea, but he's got a bruised race car. Ryan Priest, though. Everyone else with a damaged car. Eric NROL is having a pretty good day. That day's come to an end now with a blown motor. And Matt DiBenedetto, who led for several laps, now with a blown motor. Matt Kenseth, who I don't think has that bad of damage, but he's going to have to come pit road anyway. And okay, weirdly enough, though, some of the other guys that got involved in the crash aren't coming down pit road. Very interesting. Alright, well, we'll see who has enough gusto in their car left to win this race. It's going to be very interesting to see on the restart. Alright, so here are the drivers who didn't pit. And that's it, actually. Oh, okay, Chase Hill with a... Oh, Chase Hill got blown up, okay. Austin still looking on pit road. Bruce coming out of pit road now, albeit with a very broken race car. So that's everyone. Alright, so now Kurt Busch is your leader as the real Xbox nerd. Got some damage, and Matt DiBenedetto is just straight up out of the race. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit more. Okay, I think we did fast forward too far there. Alright, so of course, we got less than 10 laps to go. Alright, so going green with 5 laps to go. Kurt Busch, your leader. Tim Tom in second. And with Russell David still in fourth. So still a chance for Russell David to come in with a good finish. But I don't actually know who's competitive and who's not just yet, based on the crash, but we're going to find out with 5 laps to go. And green flag back in the air in Michigan. So Kurt Busch has the lead. Will that default him a win, or do one of these other guys have a plan up their sleeve? Here goes Tim Tom to the bottom lane. And Tim Tom goes low, he's fast. He's got Denny Hamlin following him. And Tim Tom to the lead. And just a few days ago, his teammate Grudgeon got his first win. And here is Tim Tom going for a second, but here is Denny Hamlin, though, with a pretty good run on the bottom lane here. Here's Russell David as well. He still has a speedy car. Is it speedy enough, though? But meanwhile, Denny Hamlin makes his way underneath Tim Tom. And what we thought was going to be a battle between the real Xbox nerd and Matt DiBenedetto come down to a battle between Denny Hamlin and Tim Tom. Meanwhile, Russell David still has a fast car, trying to get around Kurt Busch and race for the lead. And Russell David, despite getting involved in the late race crash, is still have some speed, but ooh, he's got to not do that though. As the two leaders still side by side. 3 laps to go. Battle for the lead between Tim Tom and Denny Hamlin. And Tim Tom is number 1, but is looking for win number 2. Here comes Serp, about to come back onto the track. Anyway, so Tim Tom, he's got the lead. Does Denny Hamlin have anything for him? Oh, they both scraped the wall. That could cause him a little bit of momentum. 2 laps to go. Tim Tom about to lap his teammate Percy Serp. Alright, so with 2 to go, Tim Tom just has to hold off Denny Hamlin for another couple laps. As drivers behind try to do something, but it seems they just can't keep up with the 2 drivers who are now racing for the lead. Alright, does any have anything left for Tim Tom? Oh, they touch a little bit, they scrape the wall, they both scrape the wall, that's gonna cost the momentum. 1 more lap to go, and the 2 leaders scrape the wall. Here comes Brad Keselowski. Keselowski with more momentum. Can he make the overtake of Denny by going into turn number 2? Yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Here comes Kurt Busch with a bit of speed. And Brad Keselowski, who had the momentum. Okay, one more attempt. Brad Keselowski, does he have anything for Denny Hamlin? Denny Hamlin stays in the lead. He does not. And Denny Hamlin will get win number 2 of the season in the Sprite 400 at the Michigan International Speedway. Still a very crazy race. Not as bizarre and insane as the first attempt, but still a pretty interesting race. But this time it was more of a race, kind of. And Russell Davis still comes in with the top 5, which is not too bad. But it is Denny Hamlin. I thought for a moment that Brad Keselowski might have been able to catch up to Denny Hamlin and win the race, but now Denny Hamlin still had enough momentum and was able to hold them off for 1 more lap. So it's a little bit of a crashy race, but still a more believable and interesting race than what happened before. And of course, you guys might have no idea what I'm talking about, what happened before. I might or may not upload that at some point, but we'll see. But at least for the race that will actually count, this race is absolutely going to count into the history books. Denny Hamlin comes in with Brad Keselowski 2nd, Tim Tom 3rd, Kurt Busch 4th, and Russell David with a very impressive top 5. So that is 2 top 5s in a row for Russell David. I think 3. I'm not actually where he finished in Atlanta or last time, but Russell David, another good finish. That's gonna help. That's still gonna have him out in the points and will increase his chances of actually making the playoffs. Next, if you look at more sports cars, finished behind, we have the Release 106 and Frank DeBobbin in 7th. Well, Frank DeBobbin didn't have a competitive car after that crash. Lucas comes home in 8th, Tyler Reddick 9th, Martin Truex Jr. in 10th, Martin Truex Jr. in 10th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 11th, Gurgen 12th, Daniel 6th, 13th, William Byron 14th, Garrett Smithley 15th, Percy 16th, Ryan Preece 17th, Eric Gumble 18th, Matt DiBenno 19th, Donald 20th, Chase Sutton 21st, Austin 22nd, Oliver 23rd, Kyle Busch 24th, Chris Buescher 25th, Bo Wallace 26th, Matt Kenseth 27th, Eric Jones 28th, Kevin Harvick 29th, Mitch Lake's brother 30th, Julie Gunn 31st, Rebecca 32nd, Ryan Newman 33rd, Doug 34th, Nia 35th, Clint Ford 36th, Alex Bowman 37th, Ben Cooks 38th, Jimmy Johnson 39th, Christopher Bell 40th, Douglas 41st, and Ryan Blaney in dead last. Oh dear, Blaney dead last. That is not going to help him out at all in the point standings. But that's it from Michigan. That's all for this week. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.